As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, it's nice to see you all this evening. I was doing a lot of research. I was going to come a lot earlier, but I've been doing some research on Baby Haro's case, and so I wanted to bring some stuff that I found out this evening to everybody. And this is, when this arrest was taking place, did I not turn off my TV? Hold on a second. Delilah was watching TV on the bed, and I just killed her TV, but it's because I could hear it feeding through my earpiece. Sorry about that. It's nice to see everybody. But we've been talking about Baby Haro, and there was a couple things that I didn't know that I've learned this evening. And I'm not sure if you guys know about it as well. As you know, many of you guys are here because of Baby Haro, baby Emmanuel Haro. His parents have been arrested. They have been charged with malice murder. And it sounds like they have enough to move forward with. Obviously, they want to bring the baby home. But some of the details that I believe we're finding out might be a lot worse than we think. They may not be able to find him. He's just a baby, okay, folks? He's just a baby. They've had time to plan. They've had time to connive. They've had time to figure out what they were going to say. They've had time. And that's what law enforcement is fighting against right now. There are some good places that are, I'm sure, being looked at. But without anything really driving things there, it's making it hard. We ran a live earlier. We looked at the maps. I may pull up the maps sometime during the show. I don't have them prepared, but I can go back through the history and pull them up fairly quickly. We might have to look at them at some point. But right now, we are getting reports that a child, there is a child, another child abuse charge in relation and or in conjunction with both Rebecca and Jake. I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard about this yet, but this is newly released information that kind of shocked me because I kind of don't know what to think about this. Has anybody heard about this so far? Because, let me pull this up, sorry. I forgot to check this and make sure that this was ready to come up. There we go. There you go. You guys should be able to see it. And it says 7-month-old baby's parents are tied to a child. We'll move this up a little bit. Abuse report in Monero Valley, police say. I'm assuming, well, we've got only 2 children, right? That they've been around since this. So this can only be Eli or their 2-year-old daughter might be speaking, because you have to understand. Hello, Carol. Thank you for subscribing. For those that are new to this chat, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime. We do have a requirement in this chat to be a subscriber, which is free. Anybody can subscribe free of charge for at least 20 minutes before you can communicate in chat. It's just to help keep the quality of chat high, keep trolls out. It's just a mechanism to help control the chat. So if you would like to participate in chat, you don't have to. But if you would like to participate in chat, you will have to subscribe to the channel. So, what is it now? Baby E's sister, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. Because here's what I'm feeling when I'm reading this article. Give me just a second. Let me pull this down. And I don't know what had just happened to my what just happened to my Gmail? My Gmail just dropped. There it is. Okay, sorry about that. It just like went poof, gone. So I couldn't see it. So I'm trying to roll this up. So what it says is that there has been a newly filed child abuse claim, is what I'm understanding. And it's basically saying that this happened at the 2300 block of Cottonwood Avenue. Riverside Sheriff deputies say they responded to a call of child abuse at the home of 2300 block of Cottonwood Avenue in Moreno Valley on Thursday. So that was just Thursday afternoon. This most recent Thursday, there was a child abuse call. Now, we all know that they've been at their house. Sorry, maybe I need to take this off. Hold on one second. My lighting's a little bit different right now. So let me get this, my filters off real quick. We'll just have a big old square there. No big deal. So it has to be the 2-year-old child, because you've got to remember that this family that they went to is already well versed in Jake Haro. Can we agree? I mean, they have 2 of the children that Jake Haro basically ruined their lives. Him and his wife have ruined 2 children's lives. And those children are Promise Faith and Carlos. My brother lives in the community is just, I bet. I absolutely bet. I can't, and I looked at some of the film out there. There is a lot of people in front of that house. I mean, an absolute lot. When I looked at some of the film, from onlookers, not, content creators or anything like that, there's just, private people from the community out there. And they're right now recording themselves and what is going on. And we got some of that stuff captured before they basically shut the area down and turned it into a crime scene. So we're going to be looking at some footage, some earlier footage, and getting a lay of the land. Another thing that I've learned that wasn't widely broadcasted, and I find quite interesting, and we do have a poll going on right now, so please consider taking the poll, because the issue that we have right now going on is we were all focused at the mom and the dad because we've been waiting for them to be arrested. Let's be honest. We've all kind of been waiting for this moment. We're very thankful it's here. Kudos again to San Bernardino, California, and all the law enforcement partners that came together to get this done, and these people behind bars in record time. I mean, I'm sorry, people deserve kudos. We deserve to be telling them kudos. I did put a post on our Facebook page that's designated to Emmanuel Haro and address that to the San Bernardino Sheriff's Office because I'm very, very thankful for what they have done in bringing justice not only to this young child, but to that community. Because a lot of people don't understand when things like this go on, it is the whole community that is suffering. It is the whole community. It is not just the family. I mean, just even the family members that, not like the mom and dad. Obviously, I've got no words. I've got no words. But their family, they love this child. They would never in their wildest dreams believe that this is their reality right now. And then you see all those people, 50 some odd people out in front of their house. It's overwhelming. It was, Gabby Petito-esque, it just seeing the cameras set up, everything. It wasn't as large as Gabby Petito, but it is big, and they are doing an amazing job on that. It didn't have time to get, don't think that it's not because Emmanuel was not as important as Gabby Petito, but Gabby Petito went on for weeks, okay? And it garnered a lot of attention because it went on for weeks. This child, you know, a week, and all of that madness is already in front of their house. Trust me, it was Gabby Petito-esque. If it lasted 5 weeks, it would have probably exceeded the what was going on in front of Brian Laundrie's house, without a doubt. I absolutely believe it. You don't mess with babies in the United States. That's just a line in the sand. It doesn't matter where we come from, doesn't matter what part of the United States it is. You don't mess with our children. So it sounds like maybe they've worked with this 2-year-old child, and maybe this 2-year-old child started telling them some stuff. That is what I'm assuming, because that law enforcement did confirm it has to do with Jake and Rebecca. And so the only thing that I can think that Jake and Rebecca, the only other child that they would have been around, would have had to have been their daughter. We call her Baby M. We try to keep her name quiet, confidential. We find Baby M, and that's Emmanuel's sister. Thank you. I can't read. Casey, thank you for subscribing. So let's get moving on. Oh, did I lose that? Oh no, this was a good article. I guess they only let me look at it once per day. Otherwise, I gotta purchase it. But we'll go to TikTok, because
hey, you guys, we're out here at.
This is pretty interesting, because most of us started tuning in, you know, after maybe they put these tapes up. Some of you guys may have already seen some of this stuff, but this is oh no, this is the update. This is after. We've got film before this crime scene tape was up, and I thought it was really interesting. But this is actually interesting news and an update that I think you guys need to have. Sorry, I've got my videos backwards. Sorry about that.
At the home, they let us back out. We're here with the news crew and just people joining in on the action right now. From what we are being told, they do not own the home. Jake and Rebecca do not own this home. The property owner's truck is actually right out there, that blue truck. And I was told that
So everybody has been wondering. This has been a question that we had. I was looking into the property. I was trying to figure out what had happened. Thank you, Melanie. God bless you. Sending everyone love here. Everyone love here on your channel, Betty. Thank you. But one of the biggest, thank you, so Pippi, sorry if I butcher your name. Please correct me if I butcher your name. I may see it in the chat, I may not. I apologize. When we have 864 people in the chat, I kind of just let the chat kind of run. And when I get to a stopping point, I'll go back and read some of the comments in the chat. So thank you guys so very much. But we've been wondering who owns the home and how in the world are they able. Guys, we got some shocking information that I have found. I've went through everything. Because certain people are looking into certain aspects of these people. And not everybody, I don't know all these people in true crime. I usually stay on YouTube. Now I'm venturing in on finding out what information people have on TikTok and stuff like that. And so this is one of the bombshells. They don't own the home. They've been renting it. So now my question is, where are they getting the rent money for almost a $300,000 home? And poor landlord, his entire home was just destroyed. The gate knocked down, holes cut in his floor. Just the gravity of what these people have done to other people's lives is just astonishing. Thank you, Panda Bear's mom, always reminding us about Devlin Tate. If you guys have not heard about the Devlin Tate story, please read up on it. Another autistic child, very suspicious story coming from the family, and definitely needs some avocation, a lot more avocation than poor little Devlin Tate is getting. So if you guys are true crimies, please look into that case. Let me know what you think. You can send that stuff over to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Could be Hector's blood. They said a significant amount of blood, not confirmed. But if the brother had died in that house and they were already questioning Rebecca and Jake for it, they would have had that already notated in all of their records. There's just there's no in the way I know how police and processing scenes, even self-inflicted, self-harm type scenes, just the understanding. It's not like I know that I have their checkbook and stuff like that, but just understanding the common sense behind the practices they do, watching them, listening to all the trials that we do, knowing what what points. That's where you guys learn. If you guys are not watching trials, then you're not learning a lot of police tactics. That is where you're going to learn the absolute most about law enforcement, because they have to go on the stand and express, how they collected this. If you listen to Strategic Eyes, he was just talking about how defense attorneys all the time go on there and try to tear his story apart and stuff like that. So, that goes right hand in hand with it. So let me shut up and you guys can get more information here. But the house does not belong to them. Now I'm questioning where in the world the money's coming from. I might have the answer for you, because one of the videos that I have for tonight is another bombshell, another shocker. So here we go.
He is devastated right now. Jake and Rebecca were renters, from what I am being told from police. And then from here, you can see it is blocked off. They're going to have this blocked off for a hot minute. They were investigating here, but as far as I was told, they do not have a body. They do not have anywhere that he's at right now. And I was told from reporters, sometimes that means that they are going to do that charge, the PC 187 with malintent, with no body too, because they have enough. So I'm just letting you guys know.
Which is what
like I said, there's not much more going on right here at the moment. We're just trying to see what's going on.
So that's what this must have been before the arrest. So we do know they must have had enough, and we know it comes down to the amount of blood.
Update in the Emmanuel Haro case. So allegedly,
sorry, I didn't know that was going to immediately start, but they ended up charging them with that. Malice murder. That is what they're charging them with. And so they had enough, and it comes down to all that blood in the house. And I don't think that can be equated to anything to do with the brother. And here's where we learn that the sister, start questioning that the questions about the sister are starting to churn and burn in a lot of people across social media.
Yesterday, while they was
because one thing we did learn is that while they were ramming the house, their house, and going and arresting Rebecca and Jake, they were also simultaneously kicking in the door at his sister's and executing a search warrant at his sister's as well. And that's the same sister that we saw out here that made the video and took it down. And thank goodness that somebody was able to clip it before she took it down, or we wouldn't have been able to hear her say how horrible everybody is for thinking that her brother and sister-in-law could possibly have done this. Shame on all of us.
Arresting mom and dad, Rebecca and Jake Haro. They were at Jake's sister's house searching her property.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she is the first one that reported Emmanuel missing. She went to Facebook stating that a 200 to 220 pound Asian man.
Y'all, we have a lot of people in the chat right now, almost 1,300 people. If you guys wouldn't mind going out and giving me a thumbs up, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you guys would put an emoji in the chat, let us know you're here, say hi to somebody, give a smiley face, a heart, or positive affirmation. That would be very, very good and appreciated.
Knocked out the mom at Big 5 and took baby Emmanuel. She's also the one that had searched the iPad on when Jake first caught his charges on his other daughter, Promise, and saw that he had been searching up how to feed a baby a bottle that has broken ribs.
Which we all heard about.
So she's connected somehow, or they wouldn't be at.
And that is true. And not only that, but his sister has been involved in a lot of little, court documents here of her being here and other stuff. Not so much the grandma, and we're being told that we need to be looking at grandma too. We saw grandma over at the house, but how much knowledge does grandma have as opposed to sister? So maybe I should have put a poll in here or a question in here is, who do we think would be more likely to be involved, the grandmother or the sister? But in reality, most of us would probably say both. I mean, they're family members. They both appear to have been dishonest with us as well as the media. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. So I don't know really what to think about the sister. I thought she was lying to us. I thought grandma was lying to us. So I guess only time will tell if they're going to be charged.
Also, I'm hearing
Thank you, Gypsy.
There was a content creator that actually found a baby blanket covered in blood, which is what led authorities to the arrest of Jake and Rebecca Haro. Now,
that's new information. I didn't hear that anywhere. Did anybody hear about a blanket that had blood on it that was found by somebody? This is there was a lot of people going live. It was hard to watch everything, and it sounds like it may have been while they were out there. Anybody hear that? My daughter, born early, lived the... Nope. I didn't hear that. And when I heard that in here, I thought, okay, well, let me just back up here. Let me see if anybody's heard. This is the first time I'm hearing of a blanket. I don't know if this is misinformation. I think it might be misinformation. But we definitely know part of her, it sounds like just a smear or something like that, I would presume, the way it sounded when she said it. But we do know that the sister's house was, in fact, raided, but I didn't hear anything. Thank you. Is it Delia? It's nice to see you. Thank you. So I'm unsure, but I think this whole blanket thing, I don't want you guys going around and saying we heard of this, because I couldn't confirm it. I did try to look into it, but couldn't confirm it. What's that mean, Robin? August 3rd, Jasper. Her son is a convicted murderer. Which son? Yeah, we've got the information on Hector too. I've got that too. Is this the one?
Y'all check this out. In the Emmanuel Haro case.
Okay. You guys remember when I said we still don't know how they're making their money. How are they paying for all of this? How in the world are they paying for all of this? Guys, I think this girl cracked the answer to this. I don't know what her name is. Her name is Mimi, something Miml. I don't know. But she shows receipts. I think this might be it. Have you guys seen this? Possibly workman's comp fraud. We knew he worked at Walmart. One of the Walmart employees came out. Thank you, Mama Onyx. Nice to have you, love. Disability. It sounds like that, Net. It sounds like that. Interesting. Interesting stuff here. Let's listen to this.
Not only is his father, Jake, a child beater and alleged unaliver, but he's also a fraudster.
Oh,
Let me show you his 6 work.
Okay, yeah. When I see my mod say something like that, there's a lot of new people that are meeting me for your first time, and I'm Bullhorn Betty, and so we have a lot of rules in our chat. And it's because I don't believe in online bullying. I've been subjected to online bullying on this specific platform. So I expect everybody to be here, and I expect you guys all to be over the age of 18, and I expect you to act over the age 18. So you can express your opinions, but it is not cool to be rude or nasty. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, whether you agree with it or not. If you can't handle yourself or it's frustrating you, just walk away, go get a drink, put the keyboard down. It's time for us to start showing some kindness even when we disagree in the chat and debate the issues, not the people. So if everybody can follow those very simple rules, there's no need to block. And if you can't follow those rules, you don't have to be here. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So everybody be kind in the chat to one another. We all love you guys here. We're all here for the same reason, right? To find answers and hopefully find where this child is and bring him home. That's what we need from everybody in the chat. We don't need, vitriol and just ick. All right. That's how we get most of these cases anyways, is the ick. So be kind.
Workers' comp claims. So this one says date of injury, March 25th, 2014 through November 8th, 2018. It says he was working at...
Look at that. 2018. Do you guys know when this was? Do you guys remember how his 10-week-old child was badly injured? Did he take workman's comp claims out after he hurt his 10-week-old child? I don't know. But it's definitely a question I'd like to ask, because I think it's a relevant question. And look at all these dates. It all seems to coincide when he gets a charge, or when he gets convicted, or when he violates probation with the firearm charge. Watch these dates. Very interesting stuff.
Walmart, and he injured his hips and his knee. February 23rd, 2017, while working.
Hips and knees. And strategic actually, and I missed this morning because we were just talking about something else and it just didn't go, it just didn't segue right into the show, so I overlooked it, but we are coming back to it. But he said something about, when this guy was arrested, Jake was arrested, he didn't have that sweatshirt on. Nobody could figure out why he was wearing that sweatshirt. And he actually believes that he has gang affiliated tattoos, and why he was wearing that jersey. So if you haven't gone over to True Crime with Strategic Eyes, he's kind of a law enforcement person, and I like how he kind of breaks some of it and gives us kind of insight into that side of things. So if that interests you, you might want to go over there. But he went over these, he started seeing the tattoos and started slowing it down. I couldn't make them out one way or another. And honestly, if I saw tattoos, I wouldn't know what gang tattoos look like. I mean, I kind of do if I saw them, but they're just not clear enough for me to make them out.
For Amazon, he injured his back, his hips, and his knee.
Back,
November
hip,
8th, 2018. So like 3 weeks after he almost beat his baby to death. While working at Walmart, he apparently injured his arm, wrist, back, leg, and multiple other parts. October 1st, 2022, employer Las Palomas Estates. He apparently injured his abdomen, his chest, shoulders, knee, and digestive system, his stomach. December 5th, 2022 through October 7th, 2020.
How do you hurt your digestive system on the job? Did he eat bad food? It just seemed like no matter where this man went, he had the same injuries. Sounds like yeah, amen to that, Nicey Marie. Amen to that.
24, employer Blue Triton Brands Incorporated. He injured his arm, wrist, hand, back, and hips. And lastly, September 29th, 2024. So
2024. That is when he started getting in trouble with the whole firearms thing. And we still haven't gotten to the brother yet. He's in the mix somewhere. We still haven't gotten to the brother yet.
So almost a year ago, the employer again was Blue Triton Brands Incorporated, and he claimed to have injured his neck, arm, hand, shoulders, and multiple other parts. Now, it says on his booking sheet from yesterday that he's 5'10" and 210 pounds, so he's a pretty big guy. I personally don't believe for one single second that he's getting injured that much. Seems.
What do you think? Let's just take a poll right now in chat. We have 1,600 people here. If you believe he was injured that much, put a 1 in the chat. If you think he is a scammer and he's been living off of the disability system, put a 2 in the chat. Something's going on here. He's got, Jen puts 3, she removes them. Oh, Tina girl, maybe. I keep thinking something's going on in that house. I'm not lying. I keep saying, you know, the all the cameras around the house, that the house is too expensive. I have to think that I mean, what does a $300,000 house go for in rent? I mean, I'd have to think at least $1,600 or $2,200 a month. Am I wrong, or is that not right out there? I don't know what the rent goes on out there too. Digestive system. I about fell over. I'm not lying. When I heard the digestive system, how do you injure your digestive system at work? 2,400. Oh, dear gracious. Oh no, they said no. We just went over a report. The landlord was there. He was there today. The landlord was there today. We learned at the beginning of this segment that they were renters. So that California rents, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, SRK. It's got to be super high. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not... I'm
so sorry.
Ooh. Guys, we found some stuff from that day. Her Pitiful Me. I think this was when it just happened. I don't know. This is when she was still in that shirt, so it must have been the day after it happened.
Just try to breathe, you know. Just try to breathe.
Can we check over there?
Just playing, everybody.
I can't imagine.
You hear in the background? Come on. Closer to 30. Ooh, ooh, that's too darn much. You guys, you what are you guys in California doing? I hope you guys get paid well. Good gracious. Good gracious. Oh, thank you. Grave Crime with Grace says justice for Emmanuel. Thank you, Love Bug. Thank you. I appreciate it. But talk about just let's watch her acting, okay? We now know that this lady stood right by her blessed man while he injured. Not, you know, that poor baby. It wasn't one event. It was multiple events. I don't even the thought of it. It just it angers me. I don't know any other way to explain it other than it angers me to no end what that poor baby had to have gone through from the time that poor baby was born. Can't even talk for himself. Dependent on the monsters, the absolute monsters that are supposed to protect him. I come here every day, and every day it just doesn't surprise me anymore, and that's just sad. But let's watch this lady in her Oscar nominee performance.
Didn't hear nothing. Where's there confetti? I didn't remember this.
Where did it happen at?
Right here.
Right here? This? Right here.
Right there in that pucky spot.
The last one?
Yeah.
Pretty weird. Right there in the parking stall. I had the wrong place anyways, because I had it further over. Whenever I was showing you guys, there's a fire hydrant over here, and I thought she parked all the way there. I could have sworn that's where, but I must have misunderstood where he pointed it out. But she's saying the furthest parking spot. The crazy thing is we looked at that parking lot. We looked at the parking lot with that footage that Ahmed had released from the store. And all of those parking spots are empty. They're all empty. Why would she park in the furthest parking spot away from the door when she said that they really needed that mouth guard? She had to go right then and there and get it. So why would she park so far away when she could have just pulled up to the door, grabbed the baby? And who would choose changing the baby in the back seat of a car when there's a clean bathroom with water, garbage cans for the diaper and everything else? So I don't know. My microphone's showing perfect. I shouldn't be low at all. Just in case I am. We are the loudest show on YouTube. We try to be anyways. I've been screaming at you. I miss screaming at you.
It happened so fast, you didn't see nothing?
I was taking him out of the car seat.
Yeah.
Taking him out of the car seat.
Right here, and he's like a change his diaper because he pooped.
I've done that. I changed my baby before in the parking lots.
And as soon as I was gonna get the diaper, somebody said hola, and then that's all.
Yeah,
I
you
remember.
just went unconscious. Yeah. Did he knock you unconscious? Yeah. I would assume, 'cause
Yes, Jen.
just breathe. I know. I wouldn't. That's worse than knowing that your kids just, like.
There's nothing there.
Man, you're double toughed alive. Do you remember how his voice sounded?
Like
Deep, Norma.
Those are good questions. Those are good questions. See, things like that, I don't think this lady that's talking to her is like this, national reporter. Things just come out naturally just by curiosity, but you see how fake she is. But if we didn't know how fake it, her heart, I gotta be honest with you, my heart bled for her for days. Like, I felt like she was an abused woman, forced to do this, yada, yada, yada. It was my audience that ready to give me that proverbial smack across the face and say, wake up, lady. Like, you don't stand by. We've been abused and we never stood by our man, doing this to our child. That was our marching orders. That was our line in the sand. And she lied and lied and lied and lied. And she had every opportunity to save herself if she wanted to. Then we learned about her other daughters, and that was it. That changed my mind about this lady. Because you're not a good woman when you have adult children you don't have nothing to do with. That you raised them and you turned your back on and walked away from your entire family. They didn't even know you remarried, that you had 2 children. They didn't even know about their other siblings. No. I'm sorry. That's all I needed to know at that point, and that was it. You are right there with him. You are lying with him. You are holding his hand, and you are a piece of garbage. Check, check, check. You go right with him. You work it out in court. Not my problem. Not my problem. But it took me a minute because, I have a soft spot for abused women. Because let's face it, if she was abused and wasn't this POS previously before meeting him, then I would have absolutely felt that he forced her to do all this just to make her a participant, which is not the most uncommon thing we've ever heard before. But that veil's been removed. She is not a victim, and we cannot allow ourselves to look at this woman like a victim. She is an accomplice. She allowed, witnessed, watched, stood by, did nothing.
No, the Spanish. This is Spanish voice.
Just a Spanish voice? It was a Spanish
deep
voice.
Spanish voice?
Yeah.
Like hola.
Yeah.
Like deep?
Yeah.
Man,
He wasn't white then.
she don't think so now.
Spanish.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, man. See me, I know my baby's gone, I know my baby's gone, but you, it's just that's worser. That's more worse. Man.
Who's going to bring the flyers, Becky?
Well, you know what really well, we can't, some people aren't educated. You shouldn't make fun of people that speak differently than you. I think it's just, in this society, people are using emojis to communicate. I mean, for F's sakes. I'm just saying. You understand what she's saying. So, anyways, just we all know she's just playing everybody like a fool. Liar. You a liar. She is a liar, and she wasn't even very good at it. Very good at it. But this idea that we have to look at her as any type of victim. I was looking at her as a victim, but I also watched law enforcement again and again give her time and time to come clean. And still, right now at 10:05 on Saturday, August 23rd, she still won't tell them where her son is. So the baby can be laid to rest. That is not a victim. That is an accomplice. There is no good excuse for that. Let's keep going. We got more.
This is the house of the parents.
This is before all the tape went up. This is when you get to see this. I don't know if he would be here. I don't think he is. I think these parents had plenty of time to plan this out, but I do believe Ahmed might have hit pay dirt somehow, because in conjunction with the sporting goods store, it's within that vicinity. And one of my audience members this morning told us that, maybe they put him there because they were reporting him missing from there. And that would have been very close to where he disappeared from. They would have found him. They would have blamed somebody else, whoever took her. Maybe that's why they were seen in that area with the stroller. It could have been that they were taking and dumping evidence. We don't know. It was a construction site. Maybe they left a sawzall or some other type of power equipment out there for somebody to pick up and take home with them. We don't know. But it sounds like they were out there. I was thinking they were looking for the dumpsters, but from the eyewitnesses, it doesn't sound like they were going toward the dumpsters. They were looking more, I'm so sorry, looking more into the vacant lot. But I think they need to, I really wish law enforcement, in an abundance of caution, take cadaver dogs out there. Thank you, Chick Nick. Just an abundance of caution. Why not? I mean, what could it hurt at this point? It is a baby. We don't leave anybody behind. We are America. And when things like this happen, we stand in solidarity and we bring our missing home.
Me and Brianna had to drive out here.
There it is.
House of Horrors. We dropped the kids off. Thank you. We dropped the kids off at school this morning and we drove straight out here.
I'm surprised that they left their gates open. I don't think that they expected. I think when they left, there must not have been anybody out there, and they must have came home to like people out in the road and stuff like that. In my opinion, he's not in water. I don't think so either. I really don't. Not after everything we're kind of learning, behind the scenes. It's not really looking good, but it's nothing that's been corroborated yet. So I think we're all just kind of waiting for a little more information to see, how we start addressing, their arrest and maybe new information or new details, because the details are sounding really, really horrible. And if what we're hearing, and I know you guys have already been getting part of it too, because you guys are everywhere more than we are, and it's power equipment, it's not looking, it's disgusting. It's disgusting what I'm hearing. It's just disgusting. I'd like to know how deplorable these parents are, but I'm thinking they're pretty stinking depraved.
So we've been out here ever since. And we have not seen no action coming from the house. We have seen his sister pull up. She has a little purple scion.
The sister. You see how the sister keeps kind of she's always in everything, yet she was the first one to come out and tell us how wrong we were about her brother. Now, I'm sorry. I think that we siblings know one another. Unless we were completely raised apart, I'd have to believe that yes, Jake's sister, that's who she's talking about. I'd have to believe that she was the first one to come out and condemn everybody for thinking that, they could be a part of it, and shame on us, or whatever that thing was that, Dillhole put up. You guys don't know who Dillhole, most of you guys don't, but my core audience does.
One of those little like box cubey kind of cars. She pulled up into that brown house that's right over here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there, that house. She pulled up, she was there for like 5 minutes and left. And when she left, not even 10 minutes after she left, 3 sheriff cars pulled up.
Interesting. We've always wondered, did they have the place bugged? And I find it interesting that, not that one has anything to do with the other, or that this is, rumor, but it's a possibility. We know some of the law enforcement tactics. We know that in a situation like this, they probably could get a warrant to tap lines. And I just find it awfully ironic that sis comes, she leaves within 5 minutes, and then boom, law enforcement's there. And then when they decide to kick the front door down, they're not just kicking the front door down here, they're kicking the front door down at his sister's house. So they obviously must have thought she was hiding information or evidence. And I just want to remind you guys, she has children too. And it makes me wonder what kind of blessed mother she is. And it makes me a little concerned about her health.
This is baby Emmanuel when he was 2 months old.
Sorry.
Notice he doesn't have the...
Okay, we are going to go through this. Where is my thing about the brother? There it is. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm on this. Now, some of you guys might appreciate this. Some of you guys do. I don't sugarcoat anything or anything like that. I'm not going to change my broadcast if it might hurt your feelings or you don't like something said. We all have a right to our own opinions, whatever. But this really did just, it screamed to me. I liked what she said. You may not, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, but she just brings down the hammer and I love it. Sorry, not sorry.
The same physical disabilities that he had at 7 months old. This child had already been beaten severely for months before he died. And this is baby Emmanuel when he was 2 months old. Notice he doesn't have the same physical disabilities that he had at 7 months old. This child had already been beaten severely for...
Isn't that interesting? There's everybody keeps wondering why we keep thinking that this child was severely abused. Because this child that you see before you is baby Emmanuel. And guess what? He looks absolutely perfect. He's awake in his eyes. He's got beautiful color. He is absolutely a perfect, gorgeous baby. Looks like a completely different child. Absolutely. Absolutely. No lazy eye. Nope. No gash or scar above the eye either. No swollen cheek. A baby that looks actually happy. I think this is the only photo that the world has ever seen of this child where this child looks normal, happy, and smiling. That is sad, folks. That is sad. But let me let you guys listen to this. Like I said, you don't have to like it. We're listening to it. I love it. I'm just going to say it
for
like
months
that.
Before he died. And his dad was on felony probation.
Yes.
For child abuse for another. What the
yes.
fuck is the point of probation if you're not watching
Amen.
people on probation? Like, why does he have a suspended sentence and probation, and you're just out here letting him have more kids that he's beaten? That you can see just from looking at them that they have been fucking beaten, and nobody is alarmed by that. I want to hear from Gavin fucking Newsom at this point, because he's out here yapping, running his mouth about how he should be the next fucking president. Take care of your own state. I want to see the legislature in California make changes right now. Why aren't there mandatory minimum sentences for child abusers? Why isn't CPS following up on people who have been convicted of severely abusing a child, especially for the term of their fucking probation, to make sure they're not out here having more kids and abusing them? Literally, what is the point of this whole system? Fix your fucking shit, California. This is baby Emmanuel.
Like I said, I didn't know how my audience was going to take it, and I really didn't care, because that's exactly how I have been feeling for damn near a week, okay? That's how I have been personally feeling for damn near a week. Because I am so thankful for the San Bernardino law enforcement, the local partners, the state partners, the federal partners that came together to get the parents locked up. But what we need to be focusing on is this was a preventable issue to begin with that should have never happened. If it weren't for the piss poor laws, the crappy system, the sweetheart deal for maiming a 10-week-old girl, what in the... I think we can all say that there is room for improvement, at least in this state. And we can say that and still thank law enforcement for doing a job they should have never had to do. They should have never had to do it. And that's the problem that many of us have across this country, being outsiders looking in. Now, this is the same one we talked about earlier, so I'm going to move on past that. So now we have been talking about whether or not, I know that a lot of people have asked, we've heard all the stories about the brother, Hector, losing his life inside the home where Jake and Rebecca were staying. We are finding out that that information is true. We're getting some receipts. These are coming out on Amy Lee on X that were reported. And so I just wanted to show you guys these things because, yes, he did die. Yes, they were investigated in this death. I don't know if this guy... if they classified this as a homicide or not. We don't know if more charges, because we're hearing a lot of stuff. Okay, folks, we're hearing a lot of stuff. We're hearing about this. I mean, there's a lot of death that seems to be around this family. We have a nephew that was recently put in the ground from an OD. We've got the brother dying inside the house. We now have a 7-month-old baby being murdered inside the house. I mean, how many more bodies are we going to find that is connected somehow to this family? And then it comes back to what True Crime with Strategic Eyes was saying earlier. We could not figure out why this man was wearing this ridiculously thick hoodie in the middle of frickin' summer out in the blessed desert, and then he's arrested in his boxer shorts and t-shirt. And we finally get a chance to look at his arms. Now, again, while I can't definitively say any of those tattoos that I previewed on him in those split seconds, could I say are gang related by any stretch of the imagination. It's not uncommon for people to have tattoos on their body this day and age. So I'm not going to say that they are gang related tattoos. However, if somebody like Strategic Eyes, a law enforcement guy that lends us his expertise here on YouTube, if he makes that, I will probably adopt that because he has more expertise on the subject matter than Bullhorn Betty from the comfort of my home in Florida that it's not hanging around people that have gang tattoos on them, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not a prude, but I'm a prude. I don't know what else to tell you, okay? I'm not banging out in the streets, folks. I know it's hard to believe that I'm not out there in the streets, gang banging and stuff like that. I think I could hold my own. I think I could hold my own. You guys quit laughing at me. Okay, well maybe not everybody agrees with me in the chat. Well, let's get back to this because this is no laughing matter. So May 6, 2021, and that I think is a little bit significant too, because wasn't that coming on to when he was about to start having to pay his time in jail? Didn't he have some type of, like, bear with me here. So we know that he was charged with beating. We know he was charged with baby M. That's E's sister. I don't know what to call her. Oh, I guess we can call her Precious, right? It's Precious Faith or Promise Faith. Sorry about that. Promise Faith. We know that that happened in 2018, but his attorney stalled that case so many times that he didn't actually get sentenced for that, if I'm not mistaken, until 2023. Or no, 2021. And he had or was it 2023? Can somebody help me out with this? Because I feel like there was something going on in 2021. I feel like I saw a police report or a conviction, or maybe that's when he had to go in. Something happened in 2021. I remember seeing it. Let me look at his let me just pull this up here real quick. I know it's still in my phone. Give me just a second. There it is. Yeah, so he was charged. Okay, so he was found guilty in 2023. I don't know if anybody responded to me. So he was charged October 12th, 2018. He pled guilty on June 8th, 2023. But here's the thing. It's the one above it. I know you guys can't see my phone, but it's the one above it, and I showed you guys this on multiple videos. But it says October 5th, 2021, and it says felony complaint filed. And I've always wondered what that was, and I think he got in trouble again in 2021. Because there's a charge here that says felony complaint filed on October 5th, 2021. And he was charged with willful cruelty on October 12th, 2018, and pled guilty to that on that sweetheart deal on June 8th, 2023. So May, which is, 5 months before he got this felony complaint filed against him in October 2021, his brother dies. So here's what we know. Did you guys know Jake Haro's brother Hector died in Jake's home? So we are confirming that his brother died inside his home. Apparently, Jake and Rebecca were both investigated for it, but was determined to be cause of a fentanyl overdose. So was the nephew, are we mistaken these things? Because I've been hearing this whole time that it was the nephew that OD'd. Are we seriously? I always thought there was something odd with that nephew. We've been bringing it up for a little minute now, that there's something odd with the nephew in the OD. And I said something about the cameras being on the outside of the home, and I keep telling my audience there's more here. We still haven't gotten to the tip of the iceberg. There's more here. And now we're learning that her brother died in their home with an OD, and the nephew just recently passed from an OD. Are we sure that Jake is not the man? It would make sense, because I'm heavily in my politics here, and cartel is coming into my town. We have these problems, these big city problems here in my town, and one thing we're finding out is these people that are conducting these type of businesses are actually living in rural areas because there's less cops, less traffic, less eyes on them, and they're having their mules or other friends or family be the one that ships it in. Is that possibly something else going on here? Because I've always felt odd about the cameras, about the nephew, but I thought they were looking at him for, murdering his brother. I didn't know that this is yet again another overdose. That's telling me this family, there are substances in this house. There is no way you've got two close people to these families, one on one side and one on the other, and two people that are very, very close to the mom and the father that have just now been accused of murdering their son, that these things are going on and they have no part of it. We have a man that has a volatile fuse that just erupts, and that is indicative of having a substance abuse problem of sorts. Most people that have those fuses, they're either coming up or coming down, because I always say there are three things that takes a good person and makes them a terrible POS. And it's substances, alcohol, or violence in the home. It can be one of those things, it can be two of those things, or it can be all three of those things. But every single time we cover a case like this, those factors always end up rearing their ugly heads somewhere in the story. And I can't see a whole line of alcoholism. We can see it in Vanessa, but we haven't seen any DUIs with Jake or anything like that. But now we're hearing about all these ODs around them. So it's making me wonder, is his, and the fact that we just learned he was doing all these doctor, scams with, workman's comp and stuff like that. He was going to the doctor. He's talking about, pain items. Is he going to these jobs, getting the insurance and using that insurance to file for disability so he can get a hold of some substances prescribed from his... these are things that I'm looking at. But this is interesting. Now we have another family member, the same type of OD, and lost their life from it. This is interesting. I don't know what else to say other than interesting. So apparently it's from the fent overdose. I haven't been able to confirm this. It's just been what I'm seeing. I also took a look at all the calls made to the Riverside Sheriff's Department in which they reported their house. The one from 5/6 was when Hector died. There are some sketchy people. So here there's the obituary. I'm making sure it's centered right. Okay, good, it is. There's the obituary. This looks like the incident card. I'm not putting that man. He's an unscrupulous PI. And so it gives the breakdown. I'll have to go and pull that or get somebody can go pull it. I'm not putting that man's face or his name up on my channel. There is just no way in hell. He is an unscrupulous PI that does terrible things to families of missing people. So here's another little tidbit of information, and it does kind of support this. Did y'all know while they were arresting Rebecca Haro yesterday and searching their property, that they also went to Jake's sister's house searching as well? This is the same sister that reported the first child abuse case that Jake had promised Faith, that she found Jake's iPad, and he was searching how to feed a baby with a broken rib. And if you guys just recently seen the reports, if you've seen Matt Thibodeau, he went through this, and Jake literally blamed his sister for looking that up and blamed Vanessa for everything. So going into this, he's going to be blaming Rebecca for all of this. You know that. But you know what the sweet part about all of this is did you know, and I haven't seen people talk about this, when they were bringing Jake out of the home, like they had Rebecca just in handcuffs behind her back. Did you guys know they shackled Jake up? It was a beautiful sight, and I didn't see anybody talking about it. They didn't just have handcuffs on him. They had handcuffs on him. They had a waist chain around him, and they had shackles on his feet. That was the person that they wanted to rattle the tree. I mean, they're going to rattle Rebecca's tree. But tell me, they wanted to make sure that before Rebecca or Jake got to their house, they wanted to make sure they knew who the bitch was. Sorry, not sorry. They wanted to make sure that before they got there for interrogation, who was the boss? Because they could have called their attorney and said, hey, can you bring your clients in? They've got arrest warrants. They could have done that. And they could have had people sitting on the house to make sure they didn't destroy evidence. Or they could have went up there and just knocked on the door and took them out. Because, you know, cops had been coming and going. They could have done those things. They chose the very noticeable. They wanted the presence. They wanted the bang. They wanted the boom. They wanted to shake the trees. They wanted them to say, what in the is that? They wanted the shock and awe. They wanted them to feel that. They wanted to scare the shit out of them because they should be very, very scared. Because I guarantee you, San Bernardino Police Department, Sheriff's Department is not playing with these people. I disagree. Let's pull that up. Give me just a second. I disagree. Let's just look at it so everybody can see for themselves. He was absolutely, I saw the shackles on his feet. Give me just a second. We'll pull it up just so everybody can see it. Because if M. Blanc didn't see it, then there's probably somebody else that didn't see it as well. Okay, I think this is it. Give me just a second. All right, I might have to adjust. Just give me a second so I can adjust the screen just a little bit because it's going to need to be adjusted. Yeah, it's going to need to be adjusted ever so slightly. Okay, let me get to the spot. Let me find the spot. Oh, you're right. He didn't have shackles. I thought he did have shackles. I thought I saw. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me find it. I wonder if they put it on him. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, M. Blanc. I thought he was in shackles. Where's the spot I saw? I think it was right here. Hold on. We'll go back and watch the whole thing. Maybe you are right, because there was no shackles right there on his feet. But I could have sworn he had shackles. Hold on, let's go look at it. Well, then he had the belt on him. Probably because he's a bigger guy. That's what I'm thinking of. You're right. You're right, Emma. It's how he's walking, and then when they turn his back, you saw that. That's what I saw. Hold on, I'll show you the band in just a second. Or maybe it's just an extension. It's that. Okay, that's what it was. That's what I thought it was right there. I thought that was a waistband, and I thought he was in shackles because he was. Yeah, you're right, because he's a big guy. Because he needs to lose weight. You're right. Sorry about that. Maybe that's why nobody was talking about. It's late. I'm not usually up this late. Thank you. I know. I heard that. He was walking on cactuses. Maybe that's why he... You know, good for him. I bet you they looked at him and he said, "Can I get some shoes?" And they said, "Nope." They wanted to make sure he felt it. They didn't give a crap. You know why? You want to know why they didn't give a crap about him? It's because he didn't give a crap about a 7-month-old baby. And he didn't give a crap about a 10-week-old baby. And quite frankly, he hasn't given a crap about anybody but himself. He's a narcissistic prick. He likes to beat up on women. He likes to beat up on kids, babies, anything he can get his hands on, anything he can feel powerful over. That is who Jake Haro is. And he finds those women. He finds those women that are desperate that he can do this to, because there is not a respectable woman that would put up with the likes of this nonsense right here. Because I tell you what, if I saw half of this crap, I don't know. Am I allowed to say I might have made him my bitch? I'm just joking. All we got is words. All we got is words. I'm a rough, tough cream puff. What can I say? What can I say? But what I did not know that. So what did we learn? Okay, we learned that the sisters, door was kicked in when their door was kicked in. We learned, what was the other stuff we learned? We learned that they don't own the home, that they're tenants, that this poor landlord has already put up with one dead body in their house, and now they're having to deal with it too. But this time it's a murder where his whole entire property is literally destroyed because of the wrong tenants. Literally destroyed. And I know I've got to have some landlords in my chat. I mean, we got 1,900 people in the chat right now. Can you imagine your nest egg literally being destroyed in a matter of hours? Just the destruction of these people, the pure destruction of lives, the pure destruction of trying to pin this on a decent community like Yucaipa. They're not from Yucaipa. You guys see where they're at. They traveled and put a stain on that community and tried to tell that community that they had a crazed lunatic running loose. And they lied. And they played on the world's emotions. I don't even know what to call him, but she reminds me, I kept thinking, who does she remind me the absolute most of? And you know what? I think the people nailed it on the head when they said Susan Smith. Because I go through even Katie, even Katie Proudfoot. Even Katie Proudfoot. She just didn't even try, right? But this lady put on a show. This lady put on a show. And that is so Susan Smith. So Susan Smith. I can't speak. I think it's because it's late. So this is the wrap for the show, guys. I thank you for coming along for the ride. A lot of information. I learned something new. I had no idea. I heard about the brother. I heard about the brother's death, but I had no earthly idea it was because of substances as well. So we have a death in their home for substances in 2021. I'm telling you, I think he's the D-man. I think he's the man. Because that's too much substances. Thank you. Thank you. That's just entirely too much substances. Yeah, she tried to be an actress. She failed miserably. I think she knew the gig was up because I didn't bring the clip on here. I forgot to include it into the show, but it was from Hidden Truth True Crime podcast or whatever it is. Well, we were talking about the lady. Anyways, she said something. What did she say? I'll have to play it tomorrow morning. My brain's shot. My brain's shot for the night. I've been up since 3:30 this morning, watching this case, watching everything I can possibly have. We've had 2 very successful, very detailed shows, and Lauren. But she said something. It was something that she said on there, and I can't remember what it was, but she confirmed a lot of information and gave us some new details. And it was one of the things, one of the new details, but my brain is short-circuiting because it's almost 11 o'clock at night. So what did she say? I was gonna play it and I remember what it was. As soon as I end my live, I'm gonna remember what it was. So let me just oh yeah, we have a poll. Let me go ahead and end the poll real quick. Before I end the poll, it says, does Jake's sister know more? And we had over 1,500 votes, and 94% of the audience says that she knows more. And I trust the audience. It's the law of large numbers. You guys got eyes, ears. You guys are seeing sometimes more than I'm seeing as a content creator, because there's thousands of you and there's only one of me. So you guys are seeing this. She didn't come off very authentic with the interview that I saw. She didn't come off very authentic at all. So it's just, it is what it is. I guess we're going to learn some more. I truly believe there's going to be more charges against these parents. I don't think they're going to stop at malice murder. Malice murder. And not only that, now that we have another charge of child abuse, I think there's going to be a lot more child abuse charges, because I think the 2-year-old's going to start opening up a little more. And I think every time that they go and every time that child talks about another event, either with her or her brother Emmanuel, I truly believe that they're going to keep racking up those charges. These people are never going to see the light of day. And I truly hope that they go after the DP for these despicable parents. I know that is a controversial topic. I'm a controversial person. I'm a barbaric woman. Okay, I for those that are new to me, I'm so barbaric. I'm one of those people that are truly an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, and believe the punishment should be, especially with a homicide, they should have to go out exactly how they took somebody else out. But that wouldn't be fair to whoever has to levy that sentence. But I'm absolutely pro DP. And it's because of animals like this, and animals like Stephen Stearns, and animals like the West parents. Those people deserve, I think violent criminals should be in prison, locked away without a key. I don't think our people that are down, stealing stuff, nonviolent crimes, they need to go to the work release, where this Yahoo was able to go after he maimed literally a 10-week-old child. That should have been for somebody stealing candy bars, or stealing purses and crap. Giving them structure so they can quit stealing purses and go make their own money. It was never for an abusive SOB like this Jake Haro. Anyways, have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. Please, always, 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 these people that we put up here, please go in their chat, tell them thank you for their work. Always, always, always tell the people that are doing the work, like Ahmed, the people out there, boots on the ground, always tell them thank you. Whether you like them or not, if they're doing good content, give them the attaboy that they deserve. All right, God bless you guys. We'll see you tomorrow sometime. Not sure when, but tomorrow.